In the previous lesson, we learned about the user onboarding process at IT Life Skills. To improve the process, I wrote a PowerShell script to create new users. In this lesson, let's analyze the user creation PowerShell script. First, we will learn the main steps performed by the PowerShell script. Then we will create a new user account using the PowerShell script. After that, we will analyze each step of the script in detail. Finally, we sum up our lesson with the keynotes. Here are the main steps performed by the PowerShell script. First, it imports the names of all logon scripts of all departments from the logon script.csv file. Then it imports user information from the new users.csv file. After that, it loops through each user and constructs the user properties. For the current user in the loop, it gets the user properties from the CSV file and store it in the corresponding variables. Then generate password and username for the user. From the manager name, it finds the distinguished name of the user's manager. Then it determines the OU for the user based on the user's department. After having all the user properties, it creates the user account. After the user account is created, it creates the user home folder, then assign the full control permission on the home folder to the user. Finally, it adds the properties required by the service desk team to the user accounts object. After all the user accounts in the new users.csv file are created, it exports all the user account information to the user accounts.csv file. Here is the PowerShell script. Let's create a new user account with the first name as Angel and the last name as Stewart. To do that, we just need to run the script. That's it. It created the user account. Let's now analyze the script. As you can see, first the script import the CSV file from C scripts data folder, and the CSV file name is logon scripts, and we store it in the logon scripts variable. Then the PowerShell script also import another CSV file at the C scripts data folder, and the CSV file is new users.csv. However, we put in the filter to get only the user with the first name as Angel and the last name as Stewart, and we store it into the users variable. And we create the default font variable, which is equal to 713.485.55.55, and the path to users share folder is cpvfs01 users, and we store it in the home folder variable. We also have the user accounts as the empty objects to store all the user accounts information. Let's check the logon script variable. As you can see, it contains the logon script column that contains all the logon scripts and the department column that store all the department in IT Life Skills. So from this file, we can find the accounting and finance have the logon scripts as accfin.bat, and we can also figure out all the logon scripts of other departments. Now let's check the users variable. As you can see, here is the detailed information of the user. Everything looks good. Let's move on to the next part of the script. As you can see, the script loop through each user in all the users that it read from the new users.csv file, and it constructs the user information by first read the user properties from the CSV file and store them into the corresponding variables. Let's now verify our variable. First, we verify the full name as Angel Stewart, and the description is 10/30/2019, and the office is Aurora, and the country is US, and the title is Finance Analyst, and the department is Accounting and Finance. Everything looks good. Let's scroll down. As you can see, next, the script is to figure out the logon script of the current user by filtering the logon scripts variable where the department equal to the department of the user, and it only get the value from the logon script column and store it into the script variable. Let's verify the script variable. So the logon script of the current user is accfin.bat. Then the script checks if the user's .phone number read from the CSV file is empty or not. If it's not empty, then it stores the user .phone number into the phone variable. If it is empty, then it stores the default phone number into the phone variable. So let's verify the user phone number. So in this case, it is not empty and it is equal to 713-485-5556. Let's verify the default phone number, and it is equal to 713-485-5555. Now let's verify the phone variable, and it is equal to 713-485-5556, which is read from the CSV file. Everything looks good. Next, the script generates a random password. To do that, it gets a random character from the list of ASCII characters from 33 to 122, and it does this 10 times and join 10 characters together and store the 10 characters into the password variable. After that, it converts the password variable into a secure string and store it into the secure password variable. And here is the password. And here is the secure string password. Let's see what are the ASCII characters from 33 to 122. To do that, we need to run this part of the script. And here are the ASCII characters from 33 to 122. Let's see how it generate a new password by running this part of the script. And here is the new password. That's it. Now the script is to construct the username or same account from the middle name, given name, and surname of the user. To construct the script, check if the middle name of the user read from the CSV file to see if it has a value or not. If it finds a value, then it adds the first character of the first name and the first character of the middle name and the first character of the last name together and converts the string to lowercase and store it into the same account variable. If the middle name is empty, then it adds the first character of the first name and the X character and the first character of the last name and converts the string to lowercase and store it into the same account variable. Now let's check the middle name of the current user. As you can see, it is empty. So the same account must contain the X character. And yes, the same account of this user is AXS. Next, the script determines if it can assign the same account AXS to the current user. To do that, it initializes the int variable and set it equal to 1. Then it starts a do while loop. This loop keeps running as long as exists has a value. In the loop, it tries to check if the same account AXS exists or not. If it does, then the getID user will return a value to exists variable to keep the loop running. Then it adds the current same account to I make the new same account become AXS1. Then it also increase the I variable to 1, make the I variable become 2. Then it continues the loop to check if the same account AXS1 exists or not. If it does, then it continues the loop until it finds a same account that does not exist, which make the getID user cause an error and send it to the cache. And in the case it X out the loop. Now the script construct the user principal, and the user principal equal to same account plus at domain name, and in this case it is at hq.itlifeskills.local. Let's verify the user principal of the current user, and it is AXS at hq.itlifeskills.local. Then the script reads the manager value of the current user from the CSV file and store it in the manager variable. Then it checks if the manager variable has a value. If so, it gets the ID user with the display name the same as the manager value. Then it only gets the distinguished name of that user and store it into the user manager variable. If the manager variable has no value, then it sets the user manager equal to null. Let's verify the manager variable to see if it has any value. So in this case, it has the value as Edward Hernandez. Now let's get the ID user with the display name as Edward Hernandez. And now let's verify the user manager variable. And in this case, it is the distinguished name of Edward Hernandez. Now the script needs to determine the OUs to create the current user. To do that, it first sets the base OU variable equal to the distinguished name of the OU that it can start searching for the OUs of the current user. To find the distinguished name of the base OU, we can open Active Directory user and computer. As you can see, all the users are created under the users OUs, so we can use that as the base OU. And to find the distinguished name of the user's OU, we need to right click on it and click on Properties and click on the Attribute Editor tab and click on the distinguished name and copy the value and set it to the base OU. Then the script will search all the organizational unit from the base OU and filter for the name that equal to the department name of the user, and then it only gets the distinguished name of that OU and store it into the OU's variable. Now let's find the OU for the current user by selecting this and run this part of the script. As you can see, it is the accounting and finance OU. Now let's verify the OU's variable, and it is the distinguished name of the accounting and finance OU. Next, the script determines the path to the user home folder, and it is equal to home folder plus the full name of the user. So let's verify the user folder, and it is equal to cpvfs01 /user /angel steward. Everything looks good. Now the script forms the objects of user properties. As you can see, all the properties are assigned with the values of the variables set in the previous steps. To make the account active, it sets the enable properties to true, and to make sure the user change password at logon, it set the change password at logon property to true. Then it creates the new user using the user property objects by using the command new edit user and provide the user properties objects. Next, the script check if the user folder exists or not. Let's verify the exist variable in the user folder. What does this mean here? It means the folder Angel Steward in the user share folder on the file server cpvfs01 doesn't exist. Therefore, the script will create a new folder named Angel Steward inside the user share folder on the file server cpvfs01. Now the script needs to grant full control permission to the current user on her home folder. To do that, it has to get the current access list of the user home folder and store it into the ACL list variable. Then it creates a new rule parameters objects to grant the full control access to the current user. And here is the parameters objects. Then it needs to create a new rule from the parameters objects. And here is the rule. As you can see, it grants the allow full control to the user access in the domain HQ with the inheritance class as a container inherit and object inherit. And then it adds the new rules to the current access list, and it set the new access list on the user home folder, which gives the current user access with the full control permission on the user home folder Angel Steward. To export the user data, the script needs to construct the user data objects, which contains only the account information required by the service desk team. It then adds the current user data objects to the user accounts objects. As you can see, after each loop, the user accounts object is added with the user data of the current user. And when the for loop completes, the user accounts object contains all the accounts that the script created with all the account information required by the service desk team. Therefore, the script export the user accounts to user accounts.csv file to provide to the service desk team. Let's export the user account and verify the user accounts objects. As you can see, it only contains the account information of the user Angel Stewart, which is expected. Here is the location of the user accounts.csv file. As you can see, it stores in C scripts data folder as specified in the PowerShell script. Let's open the user accounts.csv file. It contains the account information of the user Angel Stewart with the username and password, which will be used by the service desk team. Let's open Active Directory to verify the account information of the user Angel Stewart. As you can see, we have just created it, so the account doesn't show up. To make the account visible, we need to click on Refresh and open the account. In the General tabs, all the information is correct. Let's click on the Address tab. As you can see, the country is United States. Now let's click on the Account tab, and the account option with the box user must change password at next logon checks, so it's good. Now let's click on the Profile tab, and it shows with the logon script as acctfint.bat and the user home folder, so it's good. Now let's click on the Organization tab. It shows the job title, the department, the company name, and the manager of the user, so everything looks good. To verify, let's log on as Angel Stewart with the username AXS on a Windows 10 computer. To verify, we type in the correct password. Let's click on the eye icon. So the password looks correct. Just click on the arrow icon to log in. And you can see immediately it requests us to change the password. So just click OK. Here we type in the new password in the new password box. And in the confirm password box, we type in the same new password, then hit enter. And it confirms that the password has been changed. So just click OK. After login, just open File Explorer. And as you can see, it maps all the network drives, department, public, and projects which means the logon script running properly. It also connects to the user home folder, which means the user home folder has been configured correctly. This is the end of this video. Let's read the keynotes